Hey, I'm Ryan, and I've been part of the church for about 23 years. And in that time, I've also been through a lot of different workplace settings. Sometimes it's really hard to be in a leadership position and live out your faith. There's a lot of people depending on you. People look to you for direction. You have to make tough decisions, and your organization is also affected by your leadership. So, what does it actually look like to have faith in that sort of role? Rick Warren had some profound words in his opening line of The Purpose-Driven Life. It is not about you. The purpose of your life is far greater than your own personal fulfillment, your peace of mind, or even your happiness. It is far greater than your family, your career, your wildest dreams and ambitions. If you want to know why you were placed on this planet, you must begin with God. You were born by His purpose and for His purpose. It's important for us to remember that having faith in God does not mean everything we do will be a success, because faith means that we are living in this mindset by His purpose and for His purpose. Being a leader means having faith in God even when things aren't really going well, when revenue might be down, when you might have to fire an employee. It's in these places where faith really comes into play. And if everything was great and dandy, there's nothing we would really need to rely on God for, right? God puts difficult situations and seasons in our path because it requires our faith in Him and it produces faith in Him. And when you live by His purpose and for His purpose in the face of these tough situations, you are actively saying, God, I trust you because you are wiser. God, I trust you because your purposes are better. God, I trust you because you are working in ways that I can't see. For years, I've been really passionate about small groups, and I felt called to work with that team. I was working on a different team on Saddleback Church's staff at the time, and I heard there was an opening with small groups. I approached the leader of that team since we had a good working relationship, and I directly told him, hey, I would like to put my name into the hat for that position. After talking with him for a few minutes, it was obvious that God closed this door in front of me, and the spot was actually filled by someone else. Frustrating as it was, I knew God still called me to small groups, so I faithfully worked in that role I was serving at the time. A few months later, the same leader of small groups called me into a meeting room for about 5 minutes and told me that there was another opening and I was the only guy he wanted for that role. So without going into too much detail, God used that really hard season of waiting and being faithful to where He currently placed me, all while having faith that God put this passion in me for a reason, to eventually open up an opportunity to step into an amazing role as one of Saddleback's small group pastors. This story required me to have faith in God's purposes for me, and it produced more faith in me when I saw the way God decided to work. Odds are you've seen the famous WWJD bumper sticker, the famous "What would Jesus do?" But try modifying it a little bit more. What would Jesus do if He were me? How would Jesus handle this if He was you in your shoes, in your situation, with your personality? What would Jesus do as Michael, the manager? What would Jesus do as Pam, the receptionist, or as Jim in sales? Ask yourself, how would Jesus handle this situation if He was me? So as you think through everything as a leader, think through, is this loving? Is there a way I can do something good and pleasing to God here? What would Jesus do if He was me in this situation? Being a good leader requires relying and having faith in the greatest leader there is, and that greatest leader is God.